Introducing Intrepid's first sustainability report. But first, what is a sustainability report? It's an integrated report that shows how we've performed for the year as a business. It answers questions such as, are we good corporate citizens? Are we a business that can continue to operate profitably into the future? Do we care about our stakeholders? It's a report on our financial, environmental and social goals. Did we meet them, and what are our future goals? So just how did we stack up in meeting our 2011 goals? Here's a snapshot. Overall, passenger enjoyment has increased year on year, and in 2011 we hit an all-time record high of 4.7 out of 5. Staff engagement is on the rise, and we're aiming for a staff engagement result of 4.18 out of 5 for 2012. Donations to the Intrepid Foundation rose from $225,000 in 2010 to over a whopping $320,000 in 2011. We also completed our very first sustainability report. It's packed full of juicy Intrepid facts, and we hope this video entices you to take a read of the whole report. But there's also a few goals we didn't quite reach in 2011 that we're working on in 2012. TTV, that's all the sales made prior to discounts and commissions, has been declining. Profitability also declined from $7.2 million in 2010 to $3.6 million in 2011. That's 13% below budget. But things are looking up, with the fifth quarter results exceeding budget by 13%. Now, a bit about our people, or stakeholders as they're often bundled up and referred to in these kinds of reports. They include our staff, who are fun, hard-working, passionate about adventure travel, and the most important assets we have as a business. 62% of staff are female and 38% are male. Our executive leadership is fairly even, with 3 being female and 4 being male. At the leadership level, 74% are male, and slightly more women than men are in middle management roles. Staff satisfaction. This is a big deal in Intrepid, and our annual staff survey results show overall staff satisfaction is on the rise. More staff feel like their manager or someone at work seems to care about them as a person. More and more staff believe Intrepid practices what we preach about responsible travel. Staff have fun at work, and staff think Intrepid lives up to its core values. Other stakeholders include our passengers. 25 to 39-year-olds accounted for 44% of all our bookings last year. 20% of bookings came from the 55+ market, and 19% came from the 40 to 54 age brackets. We carried over 66,000 passengers in 2011, a slight decrease from 2010, but still enough people to fill Melbourne's Etihad Football Stadium or 165 747 passenger planes. Our biggest selling regions are Southeast Asia, Southern Asia and Africa. As Intrepid grows, so does our contribution to the local communities in which we operate. Generally, 78% of the price of our trips will stay within the region, which translates to us directly contributing over $51 million to local economies globally. In 2011, the Intrepid Foundation dispersed over $390,000 to our community projects around the world. That's equivalent to raising $1,100 a day. As well as making a positive impact on the communities we visit, we also take responsibility for our environmental impact. In late 2010, we successfully completed our goal to become a carbon neutral company, a goal that we set ourselves in 2006 and achieved through our carbon management plan. This plan measures and offsets carbon emissions from our trips, flights and offices and retail stores. To offset our trips and passenger flights for 2011, we purchased $232,200 worth of carbon credits for renewable projects in India, Brazil and Vietnam. This investment has contributed to job creation in local communities, infrastructure development around the carbon abatement projects and a cleaner environment in the local communities. Our trips produced just over 25,000 tonnes of carbon emissions, which we offset, equivalent to taking 5,000 passenger vehicles off the road for 1 year. The country where we offset the most emissions was from Southeast Asia, as we carry the greatest number of passengers through this region, followed by the Americas, where the carbon footprint per passenger is high. When it comes to flights, passengers are given the choice to offset their flight. UK staff were the best at encouraging their customers to act greener and offset their flights, followed by New Zealand and then Canada. Overall, passengers contributed $17,283 towards renewable energy projects by choosing to offset their flights. We could potentially contribute over $500,000 to renewable projects if only a quarter of passengers that book their trips with us offset their flight emissions. That's equivalent to providing electricity to over 7,000 homes for 1 year. Like our trips, we adopt the measure, avoid, reduce, and then offset principles to manage the environmental footprint of our offices and retail stores. As our business grows, so too does our footprint. Globally, our offices and stores produced a total of 2,887 tonnes of carbon emissions last year, increasing our total footprint by 45% from the previous year. Our biggest contributor to the increase was emissions from business flights, which increased by a huge 170% from last year. That's 517 more flights than last year. Our emissions from global brochures and marketing activity also rose by 21%, and emissions from company vehicles increased by a significant 63% from the previous year. On the positive side, our overall global emissions from electricity didn't increase, even with the addition of more stores and offices, and the amount of green energy we purchased increased 56% from the last year. Our goal for 2012 is to achieve a 5% reduction in carbon emissions per full-time employee by encouraging offices to purchase green energy, changing our everyday behaviours in the office when it comes to energy use, business travel and waste disposal. By setting these financial, environmental and social goals, it's no wonder we win so many awards.